Hello, Massiel here, and today I want to share with you some things that you can do to make your Excel spreadsheet look a little bit more exciting. There's quite a few things that you may already know from transferring your Microsoft Word skills and skills from tools that show you how to embolden things. So we can do that straight away. So for example, the heading here, we can select all that heading and see this little button here that's got the little B, which means bold. You can click that button. The same thing you can do by clicking the Command B or Control B if you're using a PC. So that's one of the ways of making a difference with the formatting of your Excel spreadsheet. So it's taking form. But the other thing that you can do, if you roll your mouse, you'll notice there's a header and a footer. I'll show you, because what we need to do is we need to make the screen smaller, and as you can see down here I have some writing down there because I've inserted a footer, but above here, if I roll over my mouse, is actually a header. So zooming into that at 125, you can view the header and footer by clicking on view and then scrolling down to header and footer. And here you're given the choice to, if you're double clicking that space, to add something at the center, on the left hand side or the right hand side. So I was thinking maybe we could put something in the center. So how about I give it a title, and when you type it in and click OK, you can preview what it's going to look like. I've put in a very bold title. I like bold. And you can see that that takes up the whole top sentence there. So it's the Year 6 results for the Move It program, and it's an activity to be able to demonstrate things for you. But is that enough? What else could we do? Well, did you know that we can change the way the writing is displayed? So one of the ways to do that is we select the text, and I'm going to make this 150 this time so that you can see things a little bit clearer. I always like to make the screen in Excel as big as possible because it allows you to make less mistakes, and that's something you might want to pass on to your students in class, because if they're crouched over looking at little cells, it makes them tired, and that's what the zoom in, zoom out features are for. Alright, so zooming in, I have selected the headings for which I would like to change, and now I go up to Format and I select Cells. In the cells, I'm given a variety of features that I can make a difference with. One of them is alignment, and it's the one that's highlighted there. We'll have a quick look and see what's there. We've got numbers, alignment, we can format the font, the border, the fill, and of course protection. We want the alignment, and as you can see here, there's a little feature here. If I click my mouse and point the text, it's showing me the degrees that the text can change, and I'm going to make it 48 degrees, 47, how about 47? And click OK, and you can see the effect. I now have the writing that's slanted. So that's a way of making your spreadsheet look a little bit more appealing, and it's a feature you may or may not want to use, but I wanted to share it with you. What else could we do? Well, one of the important basic functions is allowing Excel to do what it was created for. Excel was designed for doing functions for you, like adding up and tallying up scores. So when we want to do that, and before we do that, let's save our work. Always save your work. Different ways to save. You can go File, Save, or you can click the little icon here, Save, or if you're a person like me who likes to use shortcuts, it's Command S or Control S. So let's say I would like to add up the top row. I want to see what the first student scored in this whole fitness program, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas. We select, we go to the totals column here, and we go into Insert, function, and we want to sum up. So we click on sum, and then you can click the enter key, or you can double click on sum. And look at that, it automatically knows that we're going to add and sum. It highlights with blue the area that it's going to sum. And then when you've got that, you can click enter. And look at that, it's given us a score of 74. And we do that for the next one. Now, there are ways that you can do the whole lot, but I suggest you do it one by one if you're a beginner, because it gives you experience, and I think that it's always good to have a little bit of experience. Don't rush these things. If you're going to tackle this part of the assignment, do it at a time when there's quietness. You're not going to get interruptions, and you're not in a hurry. It's not like 10 minutes before you go to the movies. It's really essential that you have a bit of time, because if you have a bit of time, you'll relax. You can watch this video, you can replay it, and you'll actually pick it up rather quickly. But if you are in a hurry and it's the night before the assignment's due, this is just putting too much stress on you. All right, let's do it again. We will put our mouse where we want the function. This time I'm going to use a different method. I'm going to right mouse click and select insert function. And did you see how this whole list of functions has appeared? And I'm going to click on sum. And the computer here shows me it's the most recently used feature. And clicking sum, what happens this time is that it hasn't selected anything. It's asking me to select. So I'm going to highlight, roll my mouse over the areas that need to be summed, and I click the enter button. Done. There we are. And so we continue this process. Okay. You'll probably find that there's an icon here that does the same thing. There it is, this one here. So let's do it one more time, and then it's your turn, okay? So we click in the cell where we want the answer. We can click this button here, and notice what's happened now? It's trying to add up the top column. And that's not what we want. So when you get that highlighting message there, the blue in the wrong place, all you have to do is drag your mouse and guide the spreadsheet to what you really do want added up, and then click the enter button, and there, and etc., and you can continue to do that until you have a total of numbers for every student here, and that's what we're trying to do. So that's the object of this. And here I have emboldened the total column so that it stands out, and I've also justified the answers to the right hand side. If you look at this, this would make all the answers in the middle, this would make all the answers to the left, but I like to justify all the answers to the right hand side. So I'm going to continue to work on this, and I'm going to pause for a moment, and then I'll get back to you, and we'll look at how we can calculate the maximum, the minimum, and the average in a moment. Okay? Okay, I'm back. Before we finish, I wanted to share with you something that happens if you did make a mistake. One of the things that Excel does, let's say for example I'm clicking here sum, and I accidentally highlight the surname and I click enter. Oh, no, we'll do that again. What will happen is it will give me a little green arrow showing that something's not right. So if I was to select that whole row by accident because I was rushing and I click enter, it's supposed to show me a little error. I'll wait and see if I can find it. All right? Just give me a moment. All right, I wanted to show you what would happen if you made a mistake. Well, Excel will actually show you by adding a little triangle in the corner. Let me show you how. For example, I'm going to click in here and I want to sum that area, but I was in a rush and I only selected, say, 3 of the squares, and I click enter. You'll notice here that in that area there is a little triangle saying something's not right. And if that happens to you, you need to click on it and press the delete button and resume. Alright, back to what I was doing. Okay, and then you resume with the activity once you've hit delete. Highlight the area that you want, click enter, and now save. So there you have it. All your columns are totaled, all the student scores have been totaled. But is this enough? Perhaps you may want to know the maximum or the minimum of a student's particular score. So how we do that is very similar to what we've been doing. I've written maximum, minimum and average there so that I've got a space to add those functions. And let's look at the maximum. To do the maximum, it's similar to what we were doing earlier. We would double click in the space where you want the answer to turn out. You go to Format, Insert, Function, and you'll notice that the menu gives you a variety of choices, and we want maximum. So double click on maximum, and now you select which column you're looking at. So in this case, I want to look at the total column. Who got the highest score in the class? What was the highest score in the class? Okay, and you select the blue area and you hit enter. And there you go, the highest score in the class was 82. And now I want to see what was the lowest score in the class. So, same thing, double click in the cell, click minimum for min for minimum, double click on minimum, and notice that the little blue area wants to highlight the one above. Ignore that, just get your mouse and roll down the column that you want to see, which is the minimum, and click enter. There we go, the minimum score was 41. And now the average, same thing. There's the average. Again, select the area that's you want to measure and click enter. Alright, that's what I was waiting for. Decimal places. You should think about changing the way decimal places appear and have your number read so that there's no more than 2 decimal places showing. And you think, well, how can I do that? Before we do anything, let's save our work. You see, if you click in there and you try and delete the numbers, it's not going to work. What you have to do is you go up to our friend Format and then down to Cells. And remember, we were there before with the alignment. This time you will click to Number. And if you click on the number, you will be able to adjust the decimal places. So here, we click on Number. See, we were in General. We go down to Number, and you'll see here that it allows you to customize how many decimal places you want to display. And in this case, I only want to show 2. So that's what you do, select 2 and click OK. Is there another way to do it? Yes, let's have a look at a different way. I will undo what I have done just to show you a different way. Another way to do that is to select the cell that you want to change, and you'll notice that there's these increase decimal, decrease decimal. So if we decrease decimal, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there you go. That's the other way that you can do it. Hey, there might even be a third way. That's your homework. So far we have changed the format of the way the letters are displayed. We've totaled our scores. We've found the maximum, minimum and average, and we've changed our decimal places. I think that's plenty for today. We'll see you next time. Enjoy exploring your new skills with Excel. Till next time, this is Massiel. See ya.